Is my audio coming through? Okay, good. Let's quickly take a look what's going on here. What we're gonna see here in the open. So as of right, this is the longer time frames, 15 hour, a 15 minute, 30, and we're gonna take a look at the hour chart. As of right now, we are gapping down. The bids and offers are at 17,320. 320. So, I mean, almost 320, Kevin. Jesus, Kevin, show on these charts, crazy. So it's wow, 280 now. So we're 200 points below. We are 200 points below the close on Friday. So we're gapping down 200 points. So I want to take a look at this. So roughly we're gapping around 17,300, right around here. So we might actually drop even to this resistance here, the low here, 17,100. Now we're at 17,235. So this is going to be an interesting, very volatile open. The cryptos are down over the weekend, so it's a bloodbath. It's probably going to catch up to what happened in the stock market. We're at 188 now, so we're heading towards this 100, this low. So we're 300 points below. And we have roughly about 5 minutes before we open. So we are roughly sitting right around, right over here. God, it's right over here. So we might even come down to 17,000, the round number. But we are below this support level here. And And this is a NASDAQ, of course. Hmm. Very interesting. But I think we are due for a pullback, so we might be just dropping a little bit and then reverse, and a lot of buying is going to happen. I think that's what I think is going to happen because uh, we are way oversold. But in this current market, I don't know. Got to be careful. Three minutes to go. I think we're sitting at 17,090. So right around this area here, this, see if we can get this low here, right around here now. This support level. Right here, this low. So we might be just bouncing back up from this level. We'll see. Okay, about a minute to go. Good luck and enjoy this volatility. This is just insane. This open. Crazy. Wow. Look, opened up. Jesus Christ. We're down. I mean, we were down over 5%. See, I mean, these bars, god damn. I mean, these are 50 point. Oh my god. 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 600 points down. Jesus Christ. And then you gotta count this from 500. So 1,000 points from 17.5 to 16.5 roughly. 1,000 points down. Jesus. This is completely insanity. Wow. Wow. Let's see if Bitcoin. Oh my God. Anybody trading this? That there's just that you gotta trade micros because one. Think of this. One mini, 50 points is $1,000. So if you just trade one mini and your stop loss is $1,000, it's one bar. Look at this, one bar. This, I mean, it's more than 50 points, but just holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, MES. I mean, well, the micros. You got to. It's insane. It's just. I mean, this is overnight market. Look, I mean, just regular New York session. I mean, it just doesn't compare. This is a special open, that's for sure. God, this is just crazy. Completely crazy. I mean, let's take a look what the markets look like. See what the crude looks like. Crude oil drops too. Also, 61. From 62.30 to 60.30. So that's $2. $2.50. Let's see what the gold and silver looks like. Wow, this is gold. Holy. Silver. Natural gas. It doesn't trade. Swiss franc. I guess the currencies are up. Let's see, Swiss franc. Japanese yen is up. I don't know if it's gonna hold. I mean, who's gonna know? You know, depends where the prices are. You know, who knows what's gonna happen? Um, but just remember that these the crashes of '87. You know, you guys are familiar with the Black Monday, right? So, is this another Black Monday coming up? I don't know. This is this is crazy. I'll take a look at these Bitcoin here. This is Bitcoin futures. Is copper trading? Yeah, copper is trading. It dropped too. 6%. Jesus. Nikkei. It's just following through. 4%. Anybody trading? Anybody making money? Anybody? Yeah. Let's see what else we can take a look here. The euro is moving up. I think the Australian dollar is down. Let's take a look at this Nasdaq here again. See, it's just having a hard time now. Are we gonna just chop here in this area between 8 and 6? I mean, it's. I mean, when was the last time? When was the last time you saw? Let's just call this as a range, a 200-point range. This is. Oh my God. You short, Epic? Well, I don't know. I don't like your short, to be honest. What's your entry price? See, when you look at this 5-minute chart, see the tails? So there's support here, okay? It's just way oversold. Okay. And then when you look at this 2-minute chart, this one bar almost took out this completely, this red bar, which is roughly over 250, about 250 points. It's just, just roughly, from 800 to 550. I mean, god damn. I'm trading my MM25. What does that mean? What's MM25? Micros? Micro Nasdaq? I mean, oh, I see. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, Dow Jones. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, because they put there's an M in front of the YM, so it looks like my MM. It's yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah, Dow Jones. Let me take a look at Dow Jones here. There's the YMM. Yeah, but all indices are gonna look the same. Or very similar. Not the same, but it's very similar. Yeah, it's going up. Let's see what the Russell looks like. See, they're all the same. Drop, up, and then slowly moving back up. And S&P, yeah, same. See, same pretty much as Nasdaq here. Let's see, very similar. But hold on, let me see, because I bought some silver over the weekend. So here's my silver. Yeah, well, it's down 2%, but I think we're gonna go higher. And gold is resilient. Once it got above 3,000, it just doesn't want to break it. When you look at the daily chart, it's just. Let me take a look at the daily chart here. Let me show you guys. GC here. Well, it dropped. What I'm saying is, it was just. It's not as bloody like silver. That's what I meant. So it did drop, and I think we're gonna be coming back higher a little bit. And I think same thing with indices. Maybe Monday we're gonna see a pullback. Well, who knows? But everything's on the table. Everything's on the table. A lot of pain, a lot of blood in the streets. Crude is also down, so it's good for gas prices, right? But let's get back to Nasdaq. So it's going higher, like I said. That's what I liked. I didn't like short. Are you still in the trade, Epic? Short? Ah, you flipped. Did you flip because I was I like the long? Oh, look at this. It's dropping now again. Telling you, this might be a 200 point range for overnight. I don't know. I'm just, it's having a hard time. But this is only 30 minutes of the open, so anything can happen really when you think about it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Oh, it, let's pull up the trading view. Well, the low is what? The low of the day is 550, right? It's 550. So let's see where it where it looks like here. What it looks like here. 550. Let me see on the weekly chart here. See, it wants to go to this 200, but we got the whole week, right? It's a weekly chart, so we got the whole week. But now it makes sense 550 because of this ceiling. The ceiling becomes support. So it kind of made sense why it stopped. And also this pivot point here. So it made sense. But I mean, a drop of 500 points in a matter of just minutes, 2 minutes, from 1 to 6, let's just call it. It's 500 points. That's just, how do you wrap your head around that, right? 500 points. So that would be for one contract. Let's see, 50 points is $1,000. It's $1,000. That's at $10,000. If you just went short, but there was issues at the beginning when it opened, it just froze. The charts were frozen. The quotes. So, uh, but if you just shorted, this would be $10,000 one contract. One contract, 10 grand. 10 contracts, 100,000. Wow. You were short at 37. Let me see. Let me pull up the Dow. You were short at 37,300. So you shorted it here. 37,000 and flipped to 37,000. Okay, so you shorted and it got out here. Okay, so if you shorted here, yeah. So you probably made money. Let me see here. 50 point, what is it? 300. Uh, Yeah, not bad, not bad for one micro. Not bad. Yeah, so this shows you that this is 50 points, so this would be $1,000 and one mini if you short. So if you short here, it would go down to here, 37,100. Yeah. Do you usually trade the Dow Jones, Epic? Let me see what this S&P looks like. See, S&P is still, even in this volatility, it's still this. S&P is still, the spread on S&P is one tick, one, maybe two ticks. I mean, NASDAQ, see, just when you look at this, but NASDAQ, it's like, holy crap, like 5 points. Three to 5 points. Holy. So you said you flipped, now you're long at 37.1. 160, you're long 160. So you got in right around here. Yeah, this market is not pretty. It's it's almost, well, I don't want to say it's untradeable, but the stops. So you're looking for about 150 points or so on the Dow. I'm just gonna hold this price here with the cursor, see what it looks like. So you're looking for a retest of 300. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. This moving average is a slight problem. Here we go. You might be right. You still holding on to the position? You still long on Dow Jones?
we're gonna have we're gonna have a crash, and
Well, it looked like we're about right. It looked like it was about to look, it went above 200, but now we were break even and now rolling over. Mm. Well, we might retest the lows. Or maybe not. Or maybe we're just gonna, like I said, we might be just chopping in this area back and forth in this range. If we break below, we might test this area with the tails. Yeah. Yeah, it's dropping. It might retest the lows. There's just a lot of pressure to the downside. Drop already. Yeah. Are you still short? Were you holding on to that short position all along? Man, oh man, Nasdaq is just like 5 point spreads. Look at this. 50, 16, 26, like 4, 5 or more points. It's crazy. There's 5, 10, 6, 12. 5 point spreads. I mean, when the moves are 50 points, 100 points, 5 point spread is nothing, right? That's just, wow. 8 point spread now. Gee. These daily charts, we can't use them. Just for volume, you see what the volume looks like. I mean, I don't use volume that much. So, we'll look at the volume on Friday. It just surpassed anything in the previous days. A lot of selling. Crude, let's check up on crude here. Same thing, doing the same thing pretty much as indices. Drop and then just chop sideways. Gold. Um, kind of trending down, but these tails. And silver. My silver is heading north. Oh, see, what is this dollar index? So let's see this. So, yeah, this is the right contract for the dollar. This is the dollar index. But the data is, I'm not paying for this data, so it's delayed. This is delayed data for 10 minutes because I'm not paying for this data. Copper. Platinum. I think you gotta roll over the contracts here on platinum. $111. Let's see. I think this is the right contract here. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as gold and silver. See what your Nasdaq and Dow Jones is doing. Yeah, it just took sideways action, like I mentioned. I'll be right back. I gotta make something to eat here. Well, looks like I was kind of right. Retest the lows, but we went down another 100 points. God. Double double. You got your drop. Did you close out your trade? Good for you, man. Were you trading micros? I'm watching the spreads on Nasdaq, and they actually got as high. I mean, 10 points, 10-point spread. That's just so they're between like 4 points and 10 points or so. That's crazy. S&P is still about 1 to 2 ticks. Dow Jones is about 5 points, 10 points. Say 29, 30. What's 8 points? That's 6. Russell, what a that's about a point. Crude is only about a tick or two. What do you mean? Sounds like a book map. Which part? The little tick, the little sound. If that's what you're referring to, it's just a timer. Like for example, on a 2 minute chart, it tells me there's 30 seconds left in the candle. So I know how much time is left in the candle. Yeah, the popping, yeah. Whatever you want to call it, yeah. It's just every 2 minutes I have it set on a 2 minute chart to go off every 30 seconds before the candle closes. I mean, I could have set it, on a 5 minute chart also, but there'll be just a bunch of, popping. So I just set it on a 2 minute chart, 30 seconds uh, left in the candle. See, just popped. There's a uh, that wasn't right. Maybe I have turned on different chart, different time frame. Let me see. Let me see. How do I change it? I forgot how to change that now. Mm, yeah, enabled. See, 30 seconds. Hmm. Oh, it's doing here. And then my. Now it should be accurate. Why are the candlesticks so large? Well, because that's the price action. That's that's how much selling it was in this first 2 minutes from 17,100 all the way down to 550. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Oh, you're on tick charts? Yeah. This is a tick chart. This is a 987 tick chart. So still, the first bar is huge. Yeah, but how many ticks are you using? What's the what are you using? 100 tick, 200 tick chart? Depends what kind of, depends what kind of how many ticks you use in the chart. Yeah, 1,000 tick NQ. Well, this is similar. This is 900, 987. See? So it's 1,000 ticks, let's just call it. So this first initial bar from 100 to 700, 400 points. And then, if you just average these bars out, it's roughly 50 points. See, 550, 600, they're roughly, so I don't see how you see 15 to 20 points. Oh, on each, okay, on ES you said. Um, so here's okay. So here's ES, a tick chart. No, it's a 2-minute chart. Here's a tick chart. So the first bar was 6 to 36. So about 60 points. The first point, it's about 60 points on that S&P. And then, okay, 10 to 15. Okay, yeah. I mean, I look at the tick charts as well. The 987, and I also look at the 610. But I don't really trade them. Just look at them and compare it to what's happening on the time frame. The 2 minutes or the 3 or 5 minute chart, because it does give you signals at the same time on the tick charts. Well, yeah, because yeah, normally 3 to 6 points, sure, but we are in high volatility, environment right now. So that's why, you know, it's they're a lot. These candles are a lot bigger. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to look at, I think Friday's volatility was. When you look at the VIX, look at this, 45. The VIX was 45. I mean, this is a huge. So probably gonna see another spike to the upside. You know. So we'll see what happens in New York open session. But yeah, it's um how long do you think this will last for? Oh, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Markets, when the markets go down, it's usually the volatility goes up, goes a lot higher. Because you ever heard of markets take the stairs up and the elevator down? So it goes faster and harder to the downside than to the upside. But we are definitely in the bear market. Matter of fact, I called the top. Let me just go back here. Right here. This bar right over here. I called the top. I said the game is over. It's unless we break above and push above and keep going higher. They tried, but nope. So to me, it looks like, you know, kind of double top, right? But I called the top here. So I was a little worried here, but it would not break above. And it just melt to the downside. Then again here, um, this move up made sense to me to the 200 and retesting the 200 and another move, another leg, another move down. So if you take, let's see, 22,000, let's call it 300, 22,300 to 20,300, let's just say. So it's 2,000 points. So 2,000 points from here. If we did, well, it's actually all the way down to here. This will be the first leg, because that's when it moved up. So 22.3 to 19.3. That's 3,000 points, right? 3,000 points. So if you did a measured move, 3,000 points, and then 3,000 points from here would be 16.3 roughly, right? And we, it's amazing how it works, right? I mean, 16.4. So, so this, I think we are done moving to the downside. We are way oversold, way oversold. So, depending on how we close today in New York session, um, I think we're gonna pull back to the upside. It just makes sense. And when you look at the weekly chart, of course, it wants to go to the 200 here, the 16,000 mark. Let's just call it, and this resistance point, which becomes the floor now, right? So it's going to bounce up probably because these moving averages are still rising. So like I said in the previous, well, in the previous videos or lives, that these moving averages tend to pull the price up or down. If they're rising, they pull the price up. And if they're declining, they pull them down. So, but then again, here, this 200 is rising also. So we should see some kind of reaction to the upside because everything's rising. One, two, three, right? Three averages are rising. Price action's going down. So we got to have a reaction to the upside. Let me see what else you got here. I think you're at the bottom. Well, thinking, well, everybody's got an opinion, of course, everybody's got a prediction, but we are close. Not to the bottom. No, this is not the bottom. No, this is just a stop. This is just a stop, bus stop on the way down. But like I said, we're gonna have a reaction to the upside, a pullback, and get slammed again. Like, okay, so when you look at this chart, the weekly chart, see how the moving averages are rising, and here's a 200, and the price is between these moving averages. When you look at the daily chart, forget about this. See, the moving averages were rising, the 200 was rising, it reached the 200, we had a reaction to the upside, and what happened? Continuation to the downside. Retest to 200, and now the 200 starts to curve to the low, to the downside now, slowly. Because all this time, it's going to take, a little while to actually, roll over. So, but it's pulling the prices down now, pulling the moving averages down now, hard. So, but we're going to have a reaction to the upside. And we need to close this gap here. So, what is going to happen this week, tomorrow, Tuesday? I don't know. You know, uh, but that's what it's telling us. And the reason I say that this is only a bus stop, because when you look at the monthly chart, um, So we're only these two bars. I don't think that this bar is gonna turn green at all. So, and we're gonna go down all the way down to, probably this 50-day moving average or close to it. Like I said, 16,000 or a little bit below, and then reaction to the upside and continuation. So the all-time high is 22,400, right? So 50% retracement. Just if we had a 50% decline, that would be 11,000, right? 11,000, 400 or so. 11,000 is right over here. So this would be 50%. Um, so I think we are going at least to this level, if not lower. But of course, we're gonna have moves to the upside. Nothing goes straight down, nothing goes straight up, as you can see in this chart. Okay, it goes down, up, and so on. But so we had this one leg up, down, another leg up, pull back, and all-time highs. And now the party's over. So as long as we close like around this area for the month, like around 17,200 area, right? um, we're gonna see, of course, over the few months, or over a year, to the downside. That's what I see. Um, 3-month chart. What else do we have here? 6-month chart. Yeah, see, 6-month chart. So we're in April, May, June, 2 more months. You're gonna see 16,000 here, and 11,000 is right over here. And this moving average is rising sharply, right? So, well, let's take a look at the 12-month. This is what a yearly chart. So, a yearly chart. So this is this year, 2025. So we had two green years, 24, 23. They were up years. This year is going to be negative. So 11,000, we would have to all come down all the way down to here, which I think we will. Well, maybe not this year, of course, but that's the maybe 2 bars, maybe 3 bars. So 2 years, like here, see, we had this. It's not enough history on this Nasdaq on NQ. Let me see here. Okay, so here. This is year 2000, right? Look what happened year 2000, right? So this is a yearly chart. So year 2000, we had a huge red bar. The previous year, the year 1999, big green, and then you see how it's next 3 years, we're to the downside. And from the time for the all-time highs, just call it 5,100. Halfway mark would be 2,500, roughly. So that will be here, 50%. But we went down all the way down to 1100. That's like, what is that? 80% or something? I don't know. It will tell us in a second here. 78%. Okay? 78%. 80% down. 80% down in 3 years. So, so I think this is gonna this is the same thing. This is gonna be very similar. Am I gonna be right? I don't know, but that's what I think is gonna happen. That's what I think is gonna happen. One bar is a year of trading. I mean, when you look at this monthly chart, I mean, just from this history on this chart, because there's not enough history, right? I mean, this 200-day moving average would, I don't know where it would be. Maybe it would be here, right? Right around this area, looks like, if you extrapolate. But anyways, we've never really touched the 200. But let me take a look at this other chart. So we have, right? I mean, if there's, this is the index, the Nasdaq index, composite index. So we did, you know, touch it, but it's been, look how long. So 80%, if we went 80% down, like in year 2000, let's measure this. So from here, we would have to go down all the way down to roughly, just call it 4,000, okay, 3,900, 4,000. That would be insane, right? That would be an insane move. I mean, just think about it. If that happens, 80%, we're back to 4,000. Nasdaq 4,000. Is that going to happen? Not in 1 year. Well, um, anything's possible, of course, not in 1 year. I mean, if that happened in 1 year, 80% down, we would have insanely huge problems in this world, not just here. It's if that happened in 1 year, right? So that would be, I don't know. I don't know exactly what would happen, but man, that would be unprecedented and it has never happened, right? But anyways, so I think maybe happen it happens in 3 years. I can see that happening. So this is again, this is the yearly chart. So in 3 bars, first bar, close this bar below this green bar. So if we closed like say 14,000, that would be nice. Well, I'm saying nice. To get to 4,000, I would need this to close below, say 14,000. Then we need 10 more grand down. So another bar, another year, So uh, see, this is the index, composite index. So it shows 20,200 here, not 22,000. So from 20,000 to 14,000, that's 6,000 point move. So if we had another, say, 6,000 from 14,000, that would take us to about 8,000. Am I right? From 20 to 14 is 6,000. From 14, 6,000 more, 6,000 points to the downside is 8,000. So that would be right around here. And of course, another 50% haircut from there to 4,000. And I can see that happening because we would need to break this rising to 20-day moving average, and we would end up roughly around at this ceiling, which becomes the floor now, and this 50-day moving average is rising. So within 2 bars, we would catch up and meet this moving average. I mean, just a ballpark area, right? It's not nothing, exactly on a nose, 4,000, whatever. It could be 4,500, whatever. I'm just going by, general figures, general numbers speaking. So yes, so this is the 4,000 on the composite index because we can't see this on the futures, but actually we can because we see this ceiling here of 4,000 roughly, but we don't have enough history for this futures. Right, okay. So there's not enough history on this chart to show the 50 and the 200 because you need 50 bars to show the 50-day moving average and 200 bars to show the 200. So that's why we can look at the index itself. Where is it again? So we can look at the SPX, which is the S&P 500. But my main indice is the Nasdaq. That pretty much drives the market nowadays to me, in my opinion, because everything is technology. This is a technology driven index. So everything is technology. Everything. So that's why I trade this 98% of the time, 99% of the time. Um, that's what I look at. Because in the index, I believe, I want to say there's 2,000 stocks. S&P 500, there's only 500 stocks, right, in the index. So it gives you a bigger picture as well. So all the stocks in the S&P 500 are probably, most of them are, if not all of them, are in the Nasdaq composite. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I would assume. And of course, Dow Jones is just 30 stocks. That doesn't, 30 biggest companies. Uh, that doesn't tell me. a lot. And Russell. Well, looks like a double top is forming. So there you have it. Let me look at the comments here. Looks like a two legs down. Yeah, so far. So far. 1, 2. Pullback and continuation. We definitely gonna see a pullback. That's not a question of if, but when. Just like here. It wanted to pull back here. I mean, well, we had one bar, but because there's 200, there was a lot of support at the 200. So, but then once we broke below it, we had to retest it and say goodnight. Now here we are. So, uh, I agree. Okay. I think you are right. The big decline over the next 2 years or so. The market is so overinflated and the world economies are shit even before the tariffs. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything's overinflated. I mean, it's the some of these big shots on, on TV, they're they're calling for, the what are they saying, the bubble of all bubbles, you know, whatever, there's the bubble in real estate market, there's bubble in stock market. It's bond, what they call for bond market also, but I don't think so. The bonds are gonna go up. I'm long on bonds and bonds. So um, because look at this TLT chart. This is the treasury bonds. That's what I look at. This is the daily chart. So we're, well, I would have liked this. Well, it pulled back to 200 now, but it got above it. It pulled back. It's very flat, right? So now I want to see close next day or two or three or whatever, close above this bar and this pivot point. But it's easier to see this on the weekly and the monthly. So I called, if you watched my weekly review videos, I called for a head and shoulders here. There's shoulder, head, and failed to produce a new low. So, and now, but it came down again, and because of this 20-day moving average, but I'm long bonds. This is what I treat. This is what I keep track of for bonds. TLT. Or you can also. What's the other one? Yeah, what is this? What is this other one that I was? Anyways, where's this TLT again? So yeah, I'm long bonds. I failed to make a new low here, and I just need this month to rock it, produce a nice big green bar. I mean, I would like to see this 2 months like that. Oh, that would be nice. target would be right around 120 area because it's flat. Because it's flat. So the flatter the moving average, the more powerful it is, especially when the other moving averages are declining. So so if we hold on, see, it's like I was saying. I mean, it's we might be just chopping back and forth here throughout the night for the whole night. So we went up to the 800. Like I said, between 800 and 600 or 500. You know, it's just well now it's 500 because we came down to the 500. So between 8 and 5, a 300-point move, we might be just chop zone range trading. So see, I would expect once we took out this red bar, I was expecting more follow through to the upside or a little pullback and then, but so we'll see. So here we are. Here's the Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at the 50-day moving average on a weekly chart. So we need to break down below it. Yeah, and we will. I think we're going lower on Bitcoin. I would say 69, 67, 68,000 on a daily. So 70 is here, 69. Yeah, or even 60 on a weekly. Of course, it's not a specific number, it's just a range. So in this area, a lot of congestion, a lot of support by this area. So, but we might actually go to 50 or lower to the 200-day moving average. Yeah. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Yeah. 65 on the monthly here. And these tails. So between 60, 55, or even 50. It just depends how nasty it's gonna get. But that's what I think is gonna happen. Let me see your comments again, if there's anything. Uh, I'm probably wrong, but I think we are going upside this week. Um, well, let's take a look again. We are way oversold, right? We are away from this 20-day moving average. We are away from it. So yes, I think we're going higher, but there's 5 days in a week. So what might happen is, since the volatility is high, I mean, we dropped 1,000 points on an overnight session, right? Today. So 16,000, call it 16,500. We only need another 500 points to get, you know, to 16,000. We can do that in one day, in 1 hour. We can do that in 2 minutes. We can do this in 2 minutes. That's what happened here. 2 minutes right here. From 100. Well, this is the tick chart. Let's go back to from 100 to 600. 500 points. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So yeah. So we can go down first in a day or so, and then 2 3 days up. Yes. What's gonna happen first? Uh, we'll see. I think looks like Monday might be another Black Monday. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Don't know. Nobody knows unless you get billions of dollars and manipulate the market. So, but yes, it definitely wants to go to the 200. Definitely wants to go. Is it gonna go? I don't know, but it wants to. It usually does. So that's where support is, right? That's where people want to buy. So probably fill the gap sometime this week. Um, it's a question you're asking me. I don't know. I don't know, but I would think again. This is just thinking. I don't know. Nobody knows, right? Unless, like I said, unless you got billions and billions of dollars, unless you're, Warren Buffett with billions of money, billions of dollars sitting on the sidelines. I think he's got what, 300, 350 billion dollars sitting, you know? Um, yeah, so, um, but I think it will fill the gap before we continue down. So yes, we're gonna have a reaction to the upside. We have to have it. Well, not have to, but nothing has to happen. But it's statistically, it will. It does happen. So yes, but when and how, I don't know. Nobody knows really. But it's more likely on this weekly chart to go down first. So we might see actually on, Monday morning, push. I mean, we did, we gapped with the gap from 17.5 to 16.5. It's 1,000 points in an overnight session, right? So we can see this, and well, it's probably going to trigger circuit breakers. So we're going to probably pause for 15 minutes or so if that happens in the New York session. But then it might continue down. So this could be a Black Monday. It will be a very interesting day to watch today. Matter of fact, on Monday, what happens? Yes, it does. Yes, yes. Like I've been saying, Black Monday is coming. It could be tomorrow. Could be tomorrow, Ben. You know, uh, I if I was a betting man, if it's gonna happen tomorrow or not, I would say yes. I would be betting on yes, it's gonna happen tomorrow. Because usually on bars like this, big, huge bars, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, there's follow through. And we saw follow through today, but the so you gotta look at the gaps as if the price, if the it, if it actually traded this low, okay? If there's actually trades made, okay? So you can just draw, extend this red bar all the way up to 17,500. So like I said, there's usually follow through of more red bars to the downside or upside. Like here, for example, here's the big green bar off the 200, and the next day nothing really much, finally nothing, and then there's follow through, okay? But we've eventually ended up over here 20,000, right? So if you bought, say, at the top of breaking this bottoming tail, right? Over here. So it's roughly, just call it 18,400. It went up 1,600 points, right? No, wait a minute. Am I right? 18,400 to 20,000. Yeah, 1,600 points in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. Nine, if you want to call this 10 days, okay? 9, 10 days. 2 weeks. So let me see if I can find another example to the upside. I mean, like I said, the market moves to the upside taking steps. I mean, the stairs. But to the downside, baby, it's the elevator. I mean, look at this bar too, I mean, this is not a good example because it's below the moving averages, but um, so there's more bigger bars, like huge bars, to the downside than to the upside. But like for example here, let's use this bar. Where was it? Here. There's another one, follow through. Of course, there's resistance, so we're gonna have, that's expected, and then more steps to the upside, and then roll over. So, yes, I mean even here, okay, big bar completely erased and follow through to the downside, and it wants to go to the 200, and it did, you know. So that's why I'm saying on a weekly chart, it wants to go to the 200. So we might see tomorrow market halted, because the circuit breakers are going to kick in at 7%, I believe. You know, um, hit the 200 and then starts coming back because people are going to be buying because there's support on three different points. Once over here, ceiling becomes support. Pivot point. Here again. Here's another one. Same thing, right? And the 200-day moving average. So there you have it. 3 points that's going to try to push the price to the upside, and of course the moving averages are rising. 1, 2, and 3 are rising. So, and there's space in between them. So it needs some kind of reaction to the upside because that's what happened right over here. See it? Moving averages. This is the daily. So that's exactly what we might see. It's very similar. Very similar. So. But I think that's it for this stream. Let me see what else you guys write. Black Monday is coming. Yes, an overnight season like this mean the worst is coming. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. This week, it's gonna be because on this daily chart, as you can see, the price is way away from this 20-day moving average, right? Way away. But it wants to go to the 16,000 on weekly. We might see an upside. We might see green day tomorrow. This might actually turn into a bottomy tail, fill the gap, maybe, you know. It might actually happen. And then maybe roll over, maybe, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know. But I like the downside first, then up. Um, Let me see here something. When we had this pandemic, pandemic in 2020, it was all planned, pandemic. Um, so this is the weekly chart. So we came down, 50-day moving average, halted, retrace, slammed down to that 200-day moving average. And then we had a reaction of the 200. Okay. I don't think this is going to happen like this and we're going to go up, just straight up. I don't think that's going to happen. It might, but I don't think it will because, and look, when you look at here, we were at 9,600. We were 96. We came down to 68. Actually, we can go 66. So that's $3,000, 3,000 point, 3,000 point move, which is only 30%, right? And we've never had, I think they were saying we never had the move down as fast ever in the previous history, We never had this move like that ever. But things have changed. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So now we have seen we have seen this previously. So, and like I said, once we hit the 200, there's a reaction to the upside. See, it hits here, a reaction. It came close here. So, came close, reaction to the upside. Reaction to the upside. And we're going to have a reaction to the upside because this 50-day moving average, when you zoom out, it's actually quite steep. 45-degree angle or so. Those are pretty powerful. As you can see here, 45, 45 just keeps going up. So, yeah, we're going to see a bounce back. No doubt about it. When and how? I don't know. So that's it. What time is it? Jesus, yeah. God, I've been how long is this stream? Almost 3 hours. Oh my God, this is probably one of the longest streams. Uh, So, and look what's happening. Like I said, it's going to be a chop zone. It dropped up, dropping up, dropping up, dropping up. So, okay, so when I was watching this, okay. So when I said, remember when I said this bar got taken out, should have had follow through? Well, it did have a pullback, roughly 50% of this bar. Right, 50% will be right around here somewhere. But you got to count the tails too. So yeah, and then up again, and then pause again, and just up again. So yeah, this is the tick chart. But when you look at the 2-minute chart, it looks different. So, and there's resistance here, and now it makes sense that it goes down. Okay, anyways, that's it. I gotta go. Any any more questions? Don't forget to hit the like button. Share with somebody the stream if you think it will help them in any way. Um, subscribe if you're not subscribed. YouTube is playing games with my channel. Um, but that's it. I'm gonna go move around a little bit. Maybe get some sun if the sun is still out here in Vegas. So, okay. Take care, everyone. And watch that Black Monday tomorrow. I think it will happen. Listen, it's just me thinking. I don't know. Nobody knows. So don't be trading on somebody's opinion. Uh, and the markets are really nasty right now. So, okay, take care, everyone. We'll see you in the next video or live stream or a short video. Go watch my shorts. Um, go watch my playlist called Day Trading. Go look at the weekly analysis video playlist. You know, I might start back up maybe next week. I might do another one. I've been really busy, so uh, go binge watch on some of my videos if you like. My videos are not highly edited. It's just, I don't pay for these. I don't edit or pay editors to make nice videos. I just try to be transparent as much as I can. That's all. All right, take care, And don't forget to, do everything I just mentioned if you want. No pressure. Okay, take care.